Just like anybody who was planning to have fairly major building work like this carried out, we had concerns about how the project would move forward. Alan was able to reassure us, put any fears that we had to rest. He was clearly very knowledgeable during the meetings that we had before the build began, and that really put our minds at rest and gave us the confidence to go forward.
Did he deliver everything he said he would?
We were very pleased with the end result. Certainly the build met all of our expectations. One of the things we were most impressed with was how everything moved ahead on schedule and how the project was completed on time.
Alan was highly professional, and he spent quite a lot of time with us. We had a lot of questions, and we were very impressed that he, in the first meeting we had with him, was prepared to really go through our questions and help us with all the sort of issues that we had and understanding how the job would work. And we took a great deal of confidence from the fact that it was a family company, it was his company, he was obviously highly experienced, he knew exactly what he was doing, so we were very impressed with Alan, and that was certainly one of the main reasons why we used Plus Rooms.
Something that I was particularly happy with was the stage payment plan. Rather than having to put up a large amount and not know where the work's going to be done.
I like the way he stayed with us here for quite a long time. He stayed for a couple of hours. We noted that at the end, and he was able to, answer all our questions. He did some of the design right there. We talked about various aspects, and really,
also the quotation.
Yes, and the quotation while we were there. And he clearly knew all the steps in the process off by heart.
Would you say he delivered everything he had gone through in the meeting?
Oh yes, because as I said, it was within budget. It was on time. He said that there would be a contact with a coordinator if we needed one. That was just everything was there.
James, to do that. No, it worked. It worked very well, and he didn't disappear after the job was sold. That was a great thing. I mean, you could still get him, although he runs the company.
Alan was great. Because when I first spoke to him, he came round, he spent a lot of time going through how long the project would take in each stage, which was really good because it's very informative. But he came across as very sincere. What was really helpful was he spent a lot of time showing me other projects that Plus Rooms had done, so I was able to see completed projects, and that was really helpful. In particular, one of them was a very similar modern space, so that was really helpful to see the kind of things that Plus Rooms had done.
Extremely professional. I felt that he was much more than somebody just selling. He actually knew what he was talking about, and really I could ask any question, and I felt totally confident that he knew the answers. I'd done a little homework beforehand, and he came up totally trumps on the day. I also liked the fact that the quote was given at the time, which meant that any more questions we could ask. The project management all through was absolutely excellent. We never were left in any doubts, and I have to say that the quote he gave us came in at exactly what he told us it would. There was nothing else, and the whole project was finished in 4 weeks, which was what we were told. So absolutely spot on.
I'd probably describe him as a real plus for Plus Rooms, because he went beyond his remit of being project manager, in that when we were struggling for ideas or designs, he actually came up with good suggestions. But in terms of his project management role, he was really friendly, always contactable, and at the same time extremely professional. He kept in contact with us all the time, and he was superb, in short.
He was very professional, very businesslike, in that he turned up exactly when he said he would. He called us regularly to give us updates. He was very on top of the job. He knew what was going on at all times. He was always concerned that we had everything we needed, and he I was very impressed with James, and throughout the whole thing, the follow up and everything, he was very good.
How did you find James in terms of project management?
James was always on hand if we had any concerns about what was happening. Just like any build, there were one or two issues that arose. Perhaps we needed a change to the foundations based on the ground that had been tested, and James was always very quick to inform us about what was going on, and we were very quickly able to reach a decision on how to move forward.
James is great. He would come around during the work several times a week. He'd always give me notice if he's coming round, and if I wasn't available, he would be on site myself, so I didn't have to worry about any issues that may come up if I was away or if I couldn't make it to the site that day. He was very organised and very clean with the builders. They kept everything very neat and tidy, and he just made sure the project ran smoothly, so it was a big safety net for me. It was a lot of reassurance having him on hand.
James was really on the ball. He was calling us every week or so. It was generally him calling me rather than the other way round. If I did call him, he'd always get straight back to me if I'd left a message. And he was always really friendly and helpful. Did whatever he could to get any minor obstacles sorted out. So I was absolutely delighted with working with James.